All right, well, folks, it is time. It's the finals. Oh my God, we made it. It's the finals of MaREC Madness. I promise you, there is no one more excited than me right now to be in the booth with Veronica Brill, angry underscore Polak,
Yeah, don't
who's
get it messed up, Jim, because you
no,
did a really good job messing that
I,
up.
I did. Messing things up is kind of like my thing. It's a
I'm
bit of a forte, like
I
everyone
thought
has
there
a
would be
skill.
two of us joining you for
Yeah.
commentary, me
Well,
and whomever you tagged, the other angry Polak,
Cassia. Cassia something. I
Cassia.
know. I feel
He's
like
famous
we're
now, apparently.
I think so. I think so. So yes, folks, if you're joining us live here on Twitch, thank you so much for coming here to the show. We had a little kerfuffle on Twitter earlier because I was tagging the wrong person in our tweets. So we do have an angry Polak, but half the number of angry
Just
Polaks that were
cast a
available
wide
to
net.
us.
Whoever shows up is who we're gonna use, you know?
The more the merrier when it comes to angry Polacks, I
Right.
think. But
Yeah, yeah.
particularly, and in all seriousness, I'm so pleased to have Veronica here. Veronica, thanks for making the time to come back on the Rec Poker Show. We've had some fun in the past, and tonight is going to be no exception, I'm sure. Um, so if
I'm
you've
pretty
been
excited. Heads up is my specialty.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we're going to be digging in. We're going to be providing some analysis, some color commentary. We're going to be. I can't speak for Veronica, but I've made my bed when it comes to some adult beverages that we're going to be enjoying tonight. Um, and I just want to welcome everyone here, everyone from Rec Poker Nation, for coming out here to watch the finals for MaREC Madness. So if you don't know what's
Did
going
you
on.
tell the people? Wait. Let's not scurry away from this. Did you tell the people where you got your adult beverage from?
I
You picked
did.
it up
Well,
at your local
no.
strip club, did you not?
So Veronica is very rudely disparaging this phenomenal bottle of
No
Azul
disparaging. I just know
Pass.
where they sell those very they're very prolifically.
Oh, yes.
I only know from experience.
That's the best way to know anything, Veronica. I assure you. You don't want to go reading about tequila in a book. Go out there and live a little. God. But yeah, no,
Do
this
anything
was
stupid like read a book.
Oh, we're going to talk about that again later too. But no, in all seriousness, this is my favorite tequila. I found this when I was on my honeymoon with Mrs. Blusterini, and so I have.
It is my favorite too. If I were to still
Hmm,
drink tequila, that I would be drinking that. Yeah,
nice, a woman of culture. I've always said it, Veronica. I've
of
always said it, and
course.
I don't care what the rest of the Twitterverse has to say
Based
about it.
off of my yeah, based off of my tequila selection. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we're gonna have some fun tonight because this is the finals. We've been gearing up to this all month, the whole entire month of MaREC, or March, as some people call it. Every Thursday night, we've been having a different round of this 16-player bracket tournament that we call MaREC Madness. And we've had some fantastic people in the booth. Taylor Moss, who's the producer and really the person who makes everything happen here in MaREC Madness land, was joined by Laura Eisenberg for week one. WSOP bracelet winner Laura Eisenberg, by the way. I got to hang out with Daro Carney in week two. I had the pleasure of chatting with Chris Fox Wallace in week three. Rob Gardner came and had some fun with me last week. And here we are again with Veronica Brill. It's just a who's who of the poker Illuminati. No, not the Illuminati, but the poker luminaries. I like to steal that from the
It
breakdown
is
guys.
the Illuminati, but you're not supposed to say that,
I
you
I,
know?
I know.
It's a
I've been
secret.
drinking. I've been drinking a
Yeah.
little loose
You're gonna
lips,
spill
sink
the
ships.
beans
I
on,
might. I think. I
yeah.
mean, we'll see what happens tonight.
It's
Um,
like we already know who's gonna win the heads up match between Berkey and Airball. You know, the
yes,
Illuminati already set it all up.
that's something that I won't I'll be surprised if we don't talk about that a little bit with some of the sort of current events, heads up matches. You're sort of adjacent to every Twitter drama firestorm these days. I don't know how you manage that. Let's just
I'm
chat
not
about that a
smart.
little bit. What yeah, yeah. Why is that, Veronica? Why do you keep getting embroiled in these kind of scenarios?
Well, because my co-host on the Nick Vertucci show is a gossip queen. Yes, I said Gossip Queen. And text me is like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't see that." And then next thing you know, I'm, 2 hours into the rabbit hole of why Airball is calling Matt Berkey a fraud. And then all of a sudden there's a heads up match and we're going live with Will Jaffe and Doug Polk. And then all of a sudden they put me on the live and then I'm saying something. And next thing you know, I'm in the middle of all this getting, blocked by Matt Berkey and all kinds of wild stuff is happening. So there you go. There's your update.
Hey, you'd rather be busy and excited than bored, right? I mean, you only live once.
Oh,
Let's make the most out of
I'm never bored, that's for sure.
it. Never bored, never boring. So we are going to have some fun tonight. This is going to be a best 2 out of 3 heads up match. This series has been going on all month. We started with 16 contestants, and they've been playing against each other in a single elimination ladder bracket style tournament. And we're down to 2. So, like I say, it's a best 2 out of 3. I'm in the mood to celebrate. So I have poured myself 3 small glasses of tequila here from 3 competing brands, and I've got 3 cans of Grolsch so that I can really. Now we don't know. It might only be 2 matches. It might be 3 matches. I was a Boy Scout, so I'm prepared for the worst possible scenario.
I need to say, so someone in the chat says, Jim exposing all of the industry secrets in the first 10 minutes. You just wait until he drinks all that
Yeah,
tequila.
that's right. That's
He's
right.
going to be exposing all of the hidden secrets in the Garrett interviews and everything that's
Oh,
going on.
it's all
Yeah.
coming out. It's all coming out tonight, folks. So if you're in the Twitch stream right now, go tell your friends to come tune in because we're gonna drop some stuff
We're
later
going to do
tonight. You don't want to
brackets as
miss.
to who slept with who. That's the type of brackets we're going to be doing tonight. Let me tell let me tell you, Joey Ingram might be all over the board. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's happening,
I'm just
folks.
kidding. I'm kidding, Joey. I
You
love
heard
you.
it
I'm
here
kidding.
first. You heard it here first.
That's the first name
So
that came to my mind.
Veronica, you mentioned right off the top, best known for being the co-host of the Nick Vertucci show. I think is that a fair way to sum it all
I
up
guess
these days?
these days, yeah. My Poker After Dark days are behind me. So I guess like all I have left is that crappy show called the Nick Vertucci show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so if, for those of you who don't watch, Hustler Casino Live has one of the owners has a little side podcast called the Nick Vertucci show, and I'm the co-host. Although I'm not consistently on the show all the time because I do have a job outside of poker. I do, you know, participate in most of the episodes.
Nice. And what we asked Veronica, I'm going to take you everyone behind the curtain a little bit here. We asked Veronica, what could we plug tonight? What could we kind of say to our audience here? Help Veronica out for coming on the show. Show her some love by doing this or doing that. And her only response, the humanitarian that she is, was just tell them to read a fucking book. So that's this week's episode of MaREC Madness is brought to you by just read a fucking book. And I hope
Yeah.
I hope people get to
Promote
take her up
science
on that.
literacy. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We
Yes.
need it more than ever. We need it more than ever.
Yes. Sorry, Florida, not for you, but everyone else for sure. Yeah.
So I see we've got a lively group in the Twitch chat already. People are having a good time and making fun of me already, which is perfect. That's how we like to start. Oh, we got a raid from the one and only B Jammin. Thank you, Ben. So great having you on the show here as well. So we're going to give away a couple prizes tonight. Well, we might. It's kind of up to you, audience. So if you can guess, like I said, there's going to be 2 or 3 matches tonight. We don't know which, but if you can guess the winning hand in any of the matches, you're going to win a prize. And just in case that doesn't happen, we're also tapping in Veronica here. Veronica, in a moment, is going to divulge her favorite card, 1 out of 52. And if that card is in the winning hand, then we will also give away a prize for that. So, Veronica, while you think about that, I'm going to drink my first tequila shot here. This is the Class Azul, which I'm really looking forward to. It's in the J
So
shot
excited for you.
class that my friend Kathy made for me a long time ago. I've got a J, an I, and an M, not to spoil anything, but we're starting with J. So, Veronica, what is your favorite card or your least favorite card, to be fair? A card of
Well,
some consequence and why?
okay. I'm feeling a little feminine today. You know, sometimes I'm feeling a little alpha. Today I'm feeling a little feminine. I'm going to go with the Queen of Diamonds.
Queen of
You know,
Diamonds.
I've got my Marilyn Monroe lipstick color on, so we're going to go the diamonds are a girl's best friend. So we're going to
I
go
love
Queen of
it.
Diamonds.
All right, Queen of Diamonds. So everyone hope for that Queen of Diamonds to be in the winning hand, because that means we're going to give out even more prizes than we would have otherwise. So I'm excited for that. So we have made it. We started with 16. We are down to two. If you've been
Two
watching
of the
every week,
best.
two of
Two
them.
of
I
the
mean, really,
best.
the creme de la creme in these situations. And in
Right.
fact, what's amazing about this, so it's Chris Jones versus Keith Brandt. And regular listeners know both of these players really well. Chris Jones runs our membership content here at Rec Poker, so he uh, 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 works on. He creates a lot of the training material that we do here. He helps shape our theme of the month, the curriculum that we run over the course of a year to help our recreational players take their game to the next level. And he's a very, very savvy, studied, skilled player. Keith Monkey System Brandt is another member of the Wrecking Crew, like me, over here at Rec Poker. He runs his own monthly study group for our premium members. Monkey's off-table tools. He uses tools like Advanced Poker Training and Range Trainer Pro to help our members learn more about poker and to study and drill when they're off the felt, so that they can come and perform at the highest possible level while they're playing. So these two are going to be duking it out here in the best 2 out of 3, like I say. But I really want to thank all 16 of our contestants this year. It's been a hell of a run. We've done this is the third year that we've done this. And Chris Jones actually took second place in 2021, and Keith took second place in 2022. So we have two contenders here. There's no doubt about it. This is a battle of the Titans. One of them is going to go home with a second place, and one of them is going to manage to shake that monkey off his back and come in with the crown. So I know they're both.
Well,
There's a lot of pressure.
second place is second loss. So let's not be
That is,
losers today.
that,
Chris and
that's
Keith,
true. That's true.
buckle
Yeah,
up.
Chris and Keith. I love it. And so if you want, if this seems like a fun activity for you, you've got about a year till the next MaREC Madness. We run qualifying tournaments throughout the year. We have a quarterly series of qualifying tournaments on the third Saturday of June, September, and December. And if you want to find out more about all this stuff, you can go to rec.poker/MaREC, or you can go to rec.poker/home game, and you'll find all sorts of details on how to join the home game club and how to get involved with Rec Poker in the future. So we're going to get started soon here. I want to again just shout out our fantastic producer Taylor Moss, who does a great job putting all this together every year. I'll encourage everyone to. I love we've got this fantastic group here in the Twitter chat already.
They're reading books already. I'm so
They're
proud of
reading
them.
books. I know, isn't this
Yeah.
great? Um,
Someone you used to know, good for you. I'm very mother very proud.
and he's in Florida, so I want you to know that
I'm
like it's amazing.
extra proud.
Your reach is really spreading.
I'm just
So yeah,
here to help one Floridian at a time.
mission. I'm so glad we get to start off with the mission
I
accomplished. So
can't,
thank you,
I can't
Veronica.
wait
We've
till
had a
that
great time tonight.
yeah, I can't wait till that tequila kicks in. This is going to be fun. You're going to be on the floor.
We'll see. I mean, I'm pretty close. We'll see. We'll just see. We'll see how it goes. So I think we are about ready to get started here. Get those guesses in, and we'll be starting the match in just a moment here. When we do, you'll see Chris Jones on the top of your screen and Keith Brandt on the bottom. Here we go, and I'm excited to see how this starts
Cards
off.
are in
So
the air.
they are in the air. Oh my God. Now,
And with these
Veronica,
advanced graphics, we get to see the whole cards. Oh my
isn't it
goodness. That's
amazing?
great doing commentary on whole cards. I've tried to do this before without whole cards and I just wanted to
Hmm.
die. So
Yeah,
this is
all you
great.
do, you just talk about like sizing and stuff the whole time. It stinks. This is actually, I should shout out Poker Now. This is the platform that we're using for these, and we use this platform for a lot of our training material here.
We're doing
Poker
big
Obsessed.
blinds. Oh my God, I'm loving this. I'll be here all night. Ace high flop, two clubs, nothing for nobody. Let's see who wins.
Yeah, and that happens a lot in these, right, Veronica? When you start with such wide ranges, it's a lot of error. When people get post flop, it's hard to kind of make a hand when you're playing heads up. Is that a gross oversimplification, or is that generally true?
It's, you know what? We can go there. We've got tequila on board. We can oversimplify everything. So Chris, Mr. 5x5's got an ace king here on the button. What a lovely spot to be in. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, no action. It's like
Takes
getting
two
all
to
dressed up and
tango.
your date just stands you up. What the
Oh,
hell, man?
yeah, Keith, don't be such a jerk. So I noticed Chris was opening to 2.5, and we see Keith opening to 2x here. When you're 100 big blinds deep, Veronica, do you have a preference for sort of having one fixed sizing or alternating between limping and opens, or what do you think is a good approach here?
So I tend to do one fixed sizing because if you start to adjust your player, depending on who you're playing against, they can like figure out what your range can be. They can narrow it down a little better, especially if you're playing against a really good opponent. So
Hmm,
I try to give them as little information as possible.
I like it.
But
Defense.
again, it depends.
Doesn't everything? That's such a good answer when it comes to poker stuff. We throw that it depends out there like it's going out of style.
I mean, that's the best answer for everything. My day job, it depends. So we got the deuce three, it's off, but you know what? We're gonna take it because we're heads up. Oh, come on, monkey system. What are we doing? That's a legendary hand. You can
It's a
crack all kinds of
powerhouse.
hands with that.
Yeah, no one
I
ever
mean,
sees it coming. You've got disguise on your
two
side.
quads, two straights.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you
You're
can't make
drawing
two
towards
straights. I'm
two
just joking.
flushes.
So pocket eights, this is a nice little hand here. It's a safe flop for you too. Although, if he does hit a set here, then 5x5 is going to be loving it.
Yeah, it's an interesting when these kind of complementary hands come out like this. And in a three bet pot, you never know what that'll do to the betting action here. Now Chris picks up that redraw. He still only got ace high, but redraw to the nut flush. That gives him a lot of incentive to put a bet out here, and he does.
As you can Canadians say, gives him a lot of oots.
So many oops. So many.
Too many oots.
It's
He's oot in a
remarkable.
boot with
Oh,
that ace of diamonds.
oh, bless your cotton socks. What a lovely expression.
Well, I'm just saying that because I have a Canadian passport, so
I
I'm
know you
I
do.
yeah.
Edmonton girl. You know, my dad's
Uh-huh.
from Edmonton. It's a popular
Yeah, I mean
place.
it's a nice cold place. It's a good place to get pregnant because that's all what else is there to do out there, you know?
Oh my God. Hey, you got to have fun. You know, life's about fun.
So we have a queen high flop. 5x5 pairs is 8, and then nice whiff for ace jack. But the continuation is what we love. Oh, what a turn. What a
What a
beautiful turn.
turn. Oh my God. Yep.
Put
Really
some blinds in
checking
there.
every box.
It's
And
hard to
Chris
fold
is,
heads up with an 8, but then like what's your opponent doing, with this board?
hmm.
They probably do have something. I liked the check on the flop or on the turn, sorry. And he does call. I don't hate it.
And then another overcard here might save Chris from another bet. I assume he's going to check here, but he is
Oh,
thinking
for
about
sure.
it.
Yeah, because he checked turn, so I think he'll check. Yeah, that's good. I mean, wow, a check back.
So
I'm
do you
really
think,
surprised with a check
yeah,
back.
do you think Keith was kind of, he felt like he had the showdown value with the jack and
Yeah,
didn't
but
want
he
to,
lost value because I think he could have. Well, okay, so there's a queen out there. I mean, uh, I don't, I don't hate it, but I think he could have just like bet 1/3 pot. And then
now
if
this
you
is
get
going to
raised, you
be,
fold. It's one of those
yeah,
things.
I think people don't appreciate the value of having a bet folding range. Right? We've talked about that on the show before. I think that's really, really valuable and an underutilized branch of the decision tree here for recreational players for sure. Now this is a dicey spot. Chris is coming in with the overpair, but Monkey System's got him up and down, and this could go in any direction.
I love these types of hands where you just flop open-ended versus an overpair. It's just like nice and buttery and greasy. Let's just get cooked
It's
up.
a buttery
Yeah.
and greasy. And Chris takes another one, so he's developing a bit of a chip lead here, about 124 big blinds to 74. So there's a lot of chicken left on that bone, but he is jumping out to an early lead.
I'm watching way too much Hustler because I feel like they're playing a little snug. Like I'm surprised that they're just not shoving it all in with an 8-3 off, but that's just Hustler Casino Live, apparently. So,
Apparently.
just
Well,
Nick Airball.
these players, oh yeah. I mean, these players have a lot on the line. Both having come in second place at one point. I mean, they've got a chip on their shoulder and they don't want to go home. How did you so artfully refer to them as a loser again
Yeah, we
after
got two losers trying to get a win. So that's we're here for that.
so
Hopefully with
pretty.
both of them having a good sense of humor.
Oh, they definitely do, and these guys know what they're in for when you and I get on the show here together. There's going to be some gentle ribbing of all involved. I think they're in for a little bit of abuse. They know how to
I
take it
like
on the
this
chin.
check from the queen. And then, I mean, you got a call. Yeah. River is 4 cards to a flush, and Monkey System just binks that. And now it's just a check fold for 5x5, I think. If
And
unless
Veronica,
he, I just, yeah. Sorry.
how it feels like the rank of your flush matters a lot less in heads up like this. Like
For sure,
having
yeah.
V8, just because we kind of promote the strength of our
Wait,
hands.
was that a check back?
Oh, did he check back again?
So if
Hmm.
he, that was a bad check back. I'm just gonna say it because if 5x5 had, if 5 by, he what?
Oh, we got Chris led a small bet and Keith called in position.
Oh,
So
okay. Sorry. I thought that was, see, this happened so quickly and we're
I know it goes
yammering
fast.
on, as we say.
But I
My
kind of like
bad.
that. That's that lead from Chris where he's expecting to fold to a raise because he just had the
So that
pair
was
of
a
eights on that.
little bit of a blocker bet there. I liked that with that flush.
Hmm.
That was a good hand. Now,
Hmm.
now looking back in hindsight when I really know the action.
So this is an interesting little spot. Again, Chris has the tens, but there is the overcard on the board. And Monkey System's got a couple back doors working with them and an ace, which is not a bad place to be, especially heads up. And when the board pairs like this, do you think it favors the big blind player as much in these heads up situations as it does in a more typical full ring thing? Because it's like both players have a lot of sixes in this spot like this.
I just think it's so hard to determine with, it depends on the action pre-flop, obviously. And
Mm,
heads up, your ranges are so much wider. So if it's just like a, if it's just like a raise call, it'll probably favor the caller, right? So
right.
I think it just depends pre-flop.
I think that's a great distinction because the action does tell you a lot more than just the simple positions when there's only two positions available. I think that's a good insight.
Yeah, so that was a raise from 5x5, which I like. And then this flop really, again, so 5x5, we can see he's got like a stronger opening range than, or not range, but stronger opening hand than Monkey System. And then Monkey System, this flop is definitely more connected to Monkey System because there was no 3-bet. So this raise here, 5x5's got to be a little worried. He does have a
It's a
King of Hearts though,
it's a big sizing for the raise here. He's definitely putting a lot of
massive. It's a
pressure
good
on.
fold.
Yeah, Keith's got some protection to be earned from that. We've got a comment in the chat here from two losers trying to get a win is our upcoming buddy comedy movie. That's awesome. Yeah, that's right up there when Chris Fox Wallace was on the show. What was it? Amateur clowns was the going to be the tagline. Amateur clowns, I believe. Rec poker. Amateur clowns
So
is the one.
we're all hoping to for this to get messy. We want mud. We want them to get mud wrestling because we want a spade on this turn. Look at that
Oh
Jack of
yeah.
spades and an ace of spades. Like we want greasiness. Ah, that didn't do it
Mm,
for us. Just give it
hmm.
to us on the river. Make us happy.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're not picky.
we want to work at the slaughterhouse tonight.
Bring
Jim,
on
you
the
okay?
gore. You got me. You got me with the slaughterhouse comment there for just a second. And now Chris is in a difficult decision here because he really is just redrawing to the flush draw. I wonder if he's considering turning this into a raise here just to add some fold equity because I'm not sure he feels like he's got the right odds to call it, and he ends up folding, which feels like a textbook
Yeah, I think it
break.
was a fine fold. One thing, the few times that I have played these types of heads up tournaments, and by no means am I giving out free advice to anybody. Please don't use any advice I say in any form, even outside of poker. But it's really important to me to always be the aggressor. And
Hmm.
so if my opponent is getting quite aggressive, I'll usually like let go a good amount of hands. I want to be the one doing the pushing.
Mhm.
So
And is that even more important? Heads up, like having that kind of
it
initiative.
feels that way. It feels that way. But see, where was this last hand?
I know.
I
Come
have a
on, they had some money in the middle.
I have a feeling they're not going to get too crazy, especially 5 by 5. I mean, it's just like a mediocre kind of flush, and here we are.
Hmm. So Chris is almost certainly going to check this now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Keith went for value again. But he has to try and get. He's got to be careful about what range of hands he's hoping to get called by. And a lower
I like
spade
that
might just
bet.
be it.
I like that
Hmm.
bet. It's not too wild. You're going to get called by a worse spade. It's beautiful. Yeah. Good bet.
And just like that, the momentum has shifted. Monkey System now has about a 50% again chip lead, but there is a lot of room to be played. Look at these flops. We're getting all these monotone boards here. It's come ready for a good time, Veronica. It's going to get exciting in
I'm
here, I
I'm
think.
here. I'm here for a good time. That's all. The only reason I came.
That's true. I don't doubt that for a
I
second. You were very clear with me earlier that you were ready for this to go off the rails tonight.
I actually have my butcher block with me. Mother butcher here. We want blood.
Well,
You
this is
okay
the
there,
kind of
Jim?
board where
How's the
I'm
tequila
I'm
going
doing
down?
great. I'm doing great. I'm on Grolsch now. I'm on Grolsch number one. Tequila number one is all taken care of. We don't have to worry about that problem anymore.
So
Uh,
we've got a spade on the turn here. Monkey System's just getting ham,
yeah,
getting
and
excited.
Chris has turn two pair, and that's not the card you wanted to see though. That just brings everything. That brings all the boys to the yard, doesn't it, Veronica?
I mean, we don't mind the boys in the yard, you know? So two pair though. I have a feeling, yeah, so a little mini oh, just a
Oh no,
call.
I think that's a raise, don't you?
Was it? Sorry, it happened so quickly.
Yeah, it goes fast. But I
Yeah.
felt like that was there a straight flush on the board? Maybe it was the second nuts. It was the nuts or the second nuts. So I feel like that. So that's a few times now we've seen Keith kind of check it back or just call to close the action when he did have a chance to maybe get some more value
So
on
he
some of
did
these
call on
hands.
that river.
I believe
He
so.
didn't
Yes.
raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
listen, Keith, we want winners here. We want winners. We're not going to be doing that. We need a little
Yeah.
more out of you right now.
We need some heart.
Um, I don't care if there's a straight flush. If there is, good for you.
Mm.
We
Hmm.
we came here to gamble. We want bloodshed. I'm a butcher tonight. Don't let us down. I don't want any more checkbacks with the nuts, second nuts.
Yeah. Hope you're listening, Keith. So they've both got a pair here. Chris is in the driver's seat, card strength wise, but he's out of position, and I'm not sure. I think I thought he might put out a little value bet there, but doesn't. And we see another one uh, go to kind of like a slow. We're getting actually a comment here from Monkey System himself in the chat saying misclick. So maybe I do know
Ah,
playing on different platforms, sometimes the mechanics aren't as, obvious or clear. I know these guys play a lot online, but they probably play on other sites more often than this.
this is
So
the monkey system. This is the type of misclick you want to have. You don't want to like after a weekend in Vegas marry a stripper. So this is the right kind of misclick. We'll accept it.
this is the perfect place for
Yeah.
a misclick here. Yeah, that's
You're
a
you're you have been redeemed.
more wisdom from Ms. Veronica Brill over here. I love it. It's just never ending stream of wisdom drops. Uh,
Hey
so
man,
here
stick with me and you'll be
to,
okay.
to the moon. I got a good feeling.
To the
I got a good
moon.
feeling. To the moon. Both getting king to showdown. Now, that's another question, Veronica. do hands like king high and queen high kind of go up in value a bit when you're heads
For
up like
sure.
this? So
Yeah, for
so
sure.
there's a
Well,
real incentive to get those to showdown.
I mean, you don't want to spaz out with king high, right? But for sure there's you want to keep them in your range, and you want to keep your opponent's bluffs out of their range, right? So you can call
Mm.
down some good bluffs with like missed flush draws, missed straight draws. If you got king high, you yeah, you basically deny them their bluff equity.
Always
Unless
one
you're
step ahead.
wrong.
Right. Which apparently does happen from time to time in the game of poker.
Yeah,
As I know,
occasionally.
occasion,
Not for me,
I
but
know it's
yeah.
hard to believe.
For
I've heard of
monkey
it
system for
happening, you know.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So no one's really smashing this flop. Queen high puts a little bet out there and takes it down. Now we have seen a fair bit of showdown for these. I find depending on who the players are, heads up matches, they tend to be a lot of showdown because people are kind of getting cautious and just checking it back a lot. Or there's like no showdown because people are just getting crazy on pre-flop and the flop. Is that
So how,
about?
yeah, I mean, you can't be too passive in heads up. I think you'll end
Hmm.
up getting smashed. You won't
Mhm.
stay. I'm curious when do the blinds go up
They do.
or
Yeah,
they
I
do?
think they're on
How
a
often?
10 minute. I want to say 10 minutes. It might be 12 or yeah. So I'm
Okay.
getting a comment from our producer that it's on a sliding scale, starting off at 9 minutes and then moving to 12 minutes after a certain number of levels. So I mean, that's a pretty good amount of time for these heads up backs. Again, we got some
Pocket jacks
dynamic
in this.
action here. And
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Chris has the redraw for the flush. I don't think that four is going to be good, but now
Oh, and he whiffs that.
do you think that slows down Keith here when the board pairs like that, or is this going to be another spot where if he doesn't take an aggressive line, he's playing too passive?
I mean, if he checks this back, I'm gonna say he's playing too passive. He should put out some value. I mean, there's like no real straights. I mean, like sets would play different. 5x5
Mhm.
hasn't been playing like he's got too strong of a hand. And I mean, if they have an eight, they have an eight. But
Yep.
you'll get raised if they have an eight, and you can just fold if you're Nick Vertucci. But um, I think this is fine.
And Chris is thinking about it. I mean, he knows how hard it is to make a hand heads up like this, but lays it down wisely and is
Monkey
still about a two
Systems
to one dog.
Monkey Systems redeeming himself. You know what, Monkey? I was wrong. I like you.
There you go. Way to lay it out there, Keith.
You're you're my favorite loser here today.
Oh, I love that our listeners and our participants know exactly who they're talking to here tonight, and they can feel the love coming from Veronica Brill. This
I'm
is
just
like
here to
when
bring
I'm
feminine energy.
this is like me talking to Phil in the podcast here. We show our affection through beating up on each other. It's just one of the things that happens when you spend this much time together, like Veronica Brill and the rest of the Rec Poker crew here. All right, amazing things happen when you pair your ace heads up, and
Yeah,
we're finding that out. Keith extends the chip lead, and he's
gotta. Oh, look at AC Doocy for both of us. You gotta read some Barry Greenstein. So so 5x5 just calls with the ace deuce. I would have liked a three bet. Um, yeah. It's a little passive. Ace deuce is still pretty strong heads up.
and how much so is it partly because you've got an ace blocker and partly because just having an ace from a pure value point of
Just
view
having
is
an
pretty good?
ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having an ace. Um, yeah, I tend to take the more aggressive route, but who knows? Yeah.
and,
They're a little bit passive, but it is also early, right? It's not like they've been playing
yes.
for 12 hours. They're just starting up right now. So um they might start getting a little greasy. They might roll themselves in a little bit of butter, you know, get this show on the road.
Now, I like the 3-bet here from Keith. He doesn't want to get pushed around. He's going to show some aggression. I mean, he picked the wrong hand as it
Really
happens.
bad timing.
But Chris just smooth calls there to kind of give him
Oh.
a little more, rope, right?
Oh, I love that. I love that. And you gotta kind of, I mean, like you can't hate this flop. It's still a good flop for aces, but and then he, well, I guess he got checked too, so he led. Yeah. Okay. That was good. That was fine.
Hmm. I always
7-3, I
wonder.
just fold here.
Oh yeah,
If he
don't even
calls,
bring it in.
he's a loosey goosey. I like it.
There, Veronica Brill approved. Angry Polak approved.
Yeah,
Love it.
you can be tight in some small capacity, but the rest of the time you have to spew to make me happy.
That's right.
I'm
We
here. I'm
demand
the
the
butcher.
spew. Spew, spew,
Yeah.
spew,
I brought my
spew.
butcher block. Let's go.
Veronica, when you get paired boards like that, or it's a queen, queen six or something like that, when you have a really strong hand, there's this tension between getting value from your opponent, but also it's kind of hard for them to continue on boards like that. So there's an incentive to check behind and just turn it into a two-street game. How do you decide which one to take, or should you always do one, or is it opponent dependent, or is it depends kind of a moment? I think that's something that some of our players struggle with a lot.
Um, well, I think you have to you can't do everything the same way in an absolute manner, right? So you have to like it depends on what do you guys use solvers?
Oh
So
yeah.
you're probably going to be betting like 30% pot a percentage of the time, and then other times you might be checking or check back. Um, but I would I would err on the side of a little more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they're good boards to be bluffing, and so you expect a high frequency bluff bet. And so I feel like you kind of have to value bet in order to provide a balanced betting range there, because people just fold so much, you'd be crazy not to bluff at it a lot. I guess it depends on how
Yeah,
important you feel like balance
you
is.
may not be bluffing, you know.
Right.
Um, yeah, I think like a percentage of the time, you probably would be betting like the third pot. I mean, if you flop quads, I would say be a little sneaky. You don't want to scare anyone away.
Yeah. And I think Chris did choose that about 1/3 sizing for that bet. So full marks there. Okay,
It's
another
funny,
setup.
you're getting my poker wheels turning again. I've been
Hmm,
doing, I do data all day. So I do, you know, relational and dynamic databases all day, and now I gotta shift the brain.
there you go. Yep. Well, we want that angle. Bring that professional life perspective into the game here, because we don't even know how to spell data over here at Rec Poker. So we'll take every edge we can get. So interesting spot here for Monkey System, because he does turn the Broadway draw, and it's another overcard for Chris's sixes. So I'm not sure if that's going to slow him down. It does not. He leads out here and gets a quick, super fast fold there from Monkey System. Might have been size dependent.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of
I like,
sizing tells, we got a comment here in the chat. Pet Vet, that's Kim Kilroy, saying that sizing tell on 5x5, 2.4 with ace ace, 2.2 with 6-6. Yep, could be. Could be.
yeah,
Another bloody
I'd
flop
need some
here.
more data to see if it's consistent.
Mm-hmm. There's that crazy word again. What does it even mean? Okay, so they both have two
So
pair. Is
nice,
this going to be the
nice,
last
yeah.
last hand of the night? I mean, oh my God. That might be
That's
the
so
death
gross.
knell. That's just Chris has been stringing them along here. He flopped top and bottom pair. The turn was just perfect to put his opponent
I'm s-
in
I'm
jail.
so
And
sorry, Chris.
oh God. And you can see him. Look at him. He's struggling, because
Yeah,
like that's a big bet. And look at him. Look at the body language of Chris in there. I mean, he's
I
really in the
feel his
blender
pain.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel his pain.
And I guess part of the
I mean,
problem is no, no, go ahead.
I mean, I don't like typically it's like a pretty aggressive bet on the river. A lot of people are not like bluffing rivers.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, these guys are obviously consummate pros. Wow, what a fold.
What a
Wow.
lay down. That's what I'm
Five
telling you.
by five.
And it's amazing because these guys
Respect.
know that each one of these players is capable of showing up with a bluff anywhere. Like they're both typically in our group, they're both aggressive technical players. They know where to balance ranges. They know how to apply pressure. And I think that kind of sometimes we use that as an excuse to call because we like, oh, he could totally be bluffing here. But that was a really, really strong lay down from Chris. That was really impressive. Managed to preserve half a stack.
We're not worthy, 5 by 5. We're not
I,
worthy.
I say it every week on the podcast. The guy's a genius. Don't tell Taylor
So
Moss though.
monkey system now turns straight draw, but 3 to a flush.
Yeah,
I like
he's
the
got
bet
this.
though, because he's
Oh, and
also
this
he's
is
also got a redraw to the flush.
oh yeah, he's got the straight flush capability depending on what's coming down here, and he makes the straight. And it's an undercard to Chris's pair. So Chris being out of position here, he's got a less than a one pot size bet. He might be tempted to. I think he might be turning this into a bluff if he decides to go for it here, actually, because I think he knows his six is not a value bet, and he does put it all in. And I just think I love the heart. I love the heart, but you just can't help it when your opponent picks up the four straight and has the other piece of it. So round one goes to monkey system, and
Good job, monkey system.
just like that, we are 1/3 of the way through the final series. So I'm going to just make a little note here. The last hand, the winning hand, was not chosen by anyone in the chat. And I did not see the Queen of Diamonds appear either. So unfortunately, there will not be a prize given away in match one. But that leaves at least one more match. We've got some fun comments in the chat here. He's not monkeying around with this one, says Michael Babker. I see what you did there, Michael. A little monkey humor brought to you by the one and only Michael Babker, another
Nothing gets
contestant.
past you, Jim.
I'm so on tonight. I am so on tonight. Tell you what, as we're getting ready for our second match here, the second tequila of tonight is brought to you by Patron Reposado, and I'll just make this little problem. This is the I shot glass, made popular from the middle letter of JIM, and also made for me by my friend Kathy. So thank you, Kathy.
Kathy,
Why
you're the
don't you
best. That's sweet of
isn't
Kathy.
isn't she great? This was a birthday present like a long time ago, and they're still rocking because Kathy's a real sweetie. So Veronica, while I devour this small glass of liquor, can you just tell us what give us a couple highlights or a couple tendencies, or as we see these two battle it out for one or two more matches, any takeaways, any constructive feedback, or just push some buttons and make some people angry?
Well, no, I'm noticing that they have a little bit of a dynamic between them. Like they've been playing with each other for a while because it seems
Mm,
like they're picking up on each other, how like they're making folds at the right time. They you can tell that they've been playing for a while together. And yeah, that's one thing I can tell. They're not spazzing out too much. They're being really thorough with their decision making. I'm looking forward to round two. And they're good looking guys. What's not to like?
I told you you'd be glad you showed up tonight. Um, and it's true, Veronica, because these two players, they're both so involved in the training material that we put out here each month. Not only are they used to playing each other in our free Play Money home game series, they're also used to talking poker with each other. And so they really kind of know how the other one thinks about poker. And I think that adds a really fun metagame element, especially heads up like this, because you're really
Do you
playing the
guys
player.
do you guys do a lot of like heads up training stuff?
Not as an area of
Because
focus, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, because it's not a typical thing. Like I think heads up matches are fun and great and
Mm.
everyone should try them. But it's not easy to find material on heads up because it's just like such a niche thing. There's like Doug Polk, he's like the only heads up specialist out there. And it's impossible to find heads up tournaments. So it's really cool that you're doing this, but yeah, it's hard to find training material on it.
Well, that was actually one of the reasons why we started doing the monthly qualifiers, was because, especially for recreational players, it's hard to find good ways to practice meaningfully. It's hard to find good ways to sort of drill and prepare yourself. It's uh, it's where the biggest mistakes are made. It's where the most expensive mistakes are made. This is where all the money is won and lost. And so it's such a crucially important part of a successful tournament poker player's experience, and it's hard to practice in a simulated environment. So it really, having something like MaREC Madness, the bragging rights that go along with it on the line, is just a great way to practice. So I think that's a great point, Veronica. It's not an area where there's a whole wealth of
Yeah,
knowledge out there.
I think a lot of players, what they do if they end up at a final table and they end up final two, like they'll hire a coach to help them go
Mm-hmm.
over hands that night, like World Series of Poker, because there's like so much money on the line. As people get closer to final tables, they hire coaches, I've heard. So
Yep.
yeah, I bet Chris and Keith are currently talking to their coaches right now before the second match.
Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. They want to get every possible edge out there. I see we've got Captain Walleye in the chat tonight. Hey, Rob, congratulations on your recent or MSPT victory. Our man
Oh,
Captain
nice.
Walleye there,
Congrats.
yeah, pulled in a nice score just the other day. So congratulations, buddy. All that Rec Poker premium trading material is working its way up. I can tell. So I'm so glad you deserve it, pal, and welcome to the show. So we're
I
about to
like
get
this rec
started here.
poker training material. Let's go.
Yeah, we got some
Yes.
good stuff out there. Oh, we also got some comments. Kevin Ravichow is a good heads up expert, and Pads has some good videos on his course on Run It
Oh,
Once.
yeah.
So yeah, if you want to get it, if folks are watching along and you want to
Upswing
find some
also
more in
has
your
some
own,
good, I believe, because Doug's a heads up expert. So
amazing. All right, so we're 2 tequila shots down. We're working on Grolsch number 2. We're about to start match number 2. It's all coming together here, folks. When we come to it again, you will see Chris Jones on the top of your screen and Monkey System on the bottom of your screen. And here we go again, starting out 100 big blinds deep, plenty of poker to be played. And
ooh, are we
I'm,
playing the Deuce 7 game? Oh,
no,
we
he
should
showed
throw
it
that in
though.
there.
He wanted people to know. Now as we are starting here, I want to remind our audience, start putting those guesses in for what is the winning hand. Because if you guess the winning hand correctly, you can win a prize tonight, and you don't want to miss out on that.
That's right. We're giving away $1 million tonight, a
Of my
courtesy
own
of Rec
money.
Poker.
Yep, that's right. That's the second time that's come up, Veronica. No joke. That came up earlier. Someone suggested that I put up $1 million of my own dollars. We'll just see. We'll see. I've got a healthy portfolio that's currently in triple digits. I'll tell you, I'm in the high hundreds of net worth right now. And
Yeah,
soon,
well,
if
crypto
things
took
go
a
my
crash,
way,
so I'm going to
I
be
might even
working till I'm
be.
85.
Well, once I'm a thousandaire, there'll be room to spread the love all over Rec Poker Nation. Until then, we're playing for a Rec Poker pin, like these beautiful babies up here, and of course all the bragging rights available in a lovely
So
community like ours.
one thing I'm noticing is Monkey's system is consistent with his raises, which I
Mm,
like. He had ace
mhm.
king, he just opened to two big blinds. Really like that. Unfortunately, this flop favors 5x5 because he did just call pre. And would you look at that? Flops a straight.
Yeah, an above average flop when you're holding 6-4 offsuit. I'd say this is in a higher, this is in the favorable range of flops. We've got a comment here in the chat. Someone needs coordinates to my basement. That's an inside joke. I keep telling people nothing sinister happens in the basement. I use it for storage only. It has a series of easily wipeable surfaces and floor drains and anchor points strictly for storage. Storage is important.
That's
It's
that's one thing I miss about living in Canada is I haven't seen a basement since I left Canada.
ah well. Next time you're up, come on by. I'll give you a tour. This is a
Of the
basement you do
basement,
not want to
yeah.
miss. You don't want to miss
I'm
this.
here for basement tours. That's the only reason I go back to Canada. Basement tours.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. it's not a murder room at all. Veronica
No,
Brill
it's
says,
an
"Go check out
escape
Jim's
room.
basement."
An
Yes,
escape room.
it's just the stakes are extremely high.
Stakes are a little higher. You have a tricycle and a clown wig. Stakes are a little higher.
So we're interesting spot here for Monkey System where all he's got is back doors.
I thought he was
Chris's
just
favorite
gonna
hand is
fold this.
I
So funny.
I mean Chris is gonna put something out here, I think. His favorite hand is pocket fives. And right now the poor guy's got 1 5 in his hand and 1 5 on the board. It's really not exactly how he drew it up.
Yeah, we're on deuce 7.
All right. Oh, I see.
It's the
Yeah, sorry.
tequila. Our
It
producer,
must
our
be the
producer's
tequila.
helping Jim out here.
Thank you.
Deuce 7
Thank
wins
you.
the hand.
And
It's
we are there. That's
it's a
exactly what I
lovely day
needed.
when deuce 7 wins. Who would have thought? Monkey System, you know what? I've really turned around what I thought of you. I really didn't like you at first at all. At all. I thought you were a terrible player. But now I think you're an amazing player and I like you a lot.
All right. My stream has caught up. I was slightly delayed there, but we're right back in it. Another monotone flop. Oh my God. And we've got 2 pair for Monkey System and the redraw to the King High Flush. No one's going anywhere at this point.
They shouldn't. If they did,
No, I
I'd
wouldn't.
quit this gig.
Are you kidding? After that rider, after all we put together to get you in the green room here, Veronica?
Oh man, it's been a very tough last month. I know I was supposed to do commentary earlier, but it's been busy to say the
Oh,
least.
yeah, I know you've had a lot on your plate. So yeah, so you did mention it. We had Veronica slated for week 2, and life got in the way, and she couldn't join us for that week, unfortunately. And I'm just going to take a moment to shout out Dario Carney, who swooped in like the superhero that he is, and stayed up till 5 a.m. local time for him, going through like a 4-hour MaREC Madness marathon over here. So
I
thank
would
you to
have
Dara.
died.
Yeah, I know that wasn't the right week for you. You had way too much
That
going
was a
on.
rough week, yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
but
guys being understanding.
oh yeah, of
This is
course.
a fun one. We got a classic flip.
Mm, ye old classic flip. Oh my.
So everybody in the chat, keep in mind 5x5 went to 2.4 with pocket deuces. Let's see what these tells are.
Ah.
I love the 3-bet to 8.4 big blinds and a call with deuces. It's a good call. And I'm thinking if I'm pocket deuces here, this board is so much better for me. I have a feeling, ace
Mm,
jack, ace king, ace queen, all of these ace 10 type hands probably are within his range because of the 3-bet. So this board's for me. I would almost like a little sneaky raise.
I kind of like using these low showdown candidate or just smooth call. So he knows that monkey system's going to be firing pretty wide there.
He's still good with the call. I love the Canadian in you calling it smooth call.
Is that a Canadian thing? Is that a
It's a super Canadian thing.
regional?
Yeah. I remember moving to America saying smooth call and they all laughed at me. I mean, if he's been here this long, the 7's not going to change anything. Yeah, I I like it.
Well
Yeah,
played.
scoop it. Yeah, ace jack, take that.
And Keith says, "Congratulations, sir." And I expect we'll see that we have seen a few of these garbage hands versus garbage hands, but a lot of these have been pretty good starting hands coming together. A lot of competing high cards and exciting flops.
So, Jim, I have to say the ace 4 is the drunk man's aces. So, here we
Ah, I
go.
love that. All right, I got my own
Mm,
aces. Beautiful.
yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
We'll
Yeah,
get
the old
Taylor to take over once Jim flops over to the floor,
once
people.
once you see me mostly horizontal.
Yeah.
Uh, I know I'm getting old. I'm not that old just yet. It's gonna take more than 3 tequila shots and 3 beers to put me down.
Oh, it
Um,
gets worse for me as I've gotten older. I don't know how you're managing.
you've been out of Canada too long. It's something about the air up here. It's that beautiful northern air.
Yeah, I have been out of Canada too long. I'm becoming a wimpy little freaking oat milk Californian, bringing shame to my family.
That's okay. We're just jealous that you don't have to shovel any snow. I'm
I
sure
mean,
if you put a couple tequilas in the family, they'd get honest with you in a hurry.
so Monkey System getting sneaky with the ace deuce. He checks.
Hmm. And he elicits
So,
a small bet from Chris,
and a
and this
little
will
raise. I like
probably
it.
be the end of it. Yeah, I mean he got a few more chips than he would have otherwise, and so um, even when Chris lets it go here, and sometimes Chris is going to have a real hand here. He'll have a pocket pair higher than fours, or maybe even an ace, and so I don't mind going for value here by Monkey System.
I feel like if Chris and Keith got some like rabbit ears or cat ears on their headphones, it would spice up the live stream, just
Hmm.
future reference.
I think the
If you
last
guys want
time
to
we
try that
had you
next
on the
year.
show, cat ears did feature prominently, if memory serves.
Yeah, so I was at work and I just logged off work, but I do have my ears. I just haven't put them on.
And here we thought you were going to go all out tonight, Veronica. It's just another disappointment from Veronica Brill
Oh,
here on the Rec Poker
I'm so
Podcast.
sorry. Let me take off this lipstick and show you the real me then. I'm sorry.
So
Oh,
Keith getting,
nice 10 on the turn, but
yeah, which makes it
it's
interesting,
getting
right?
spicy.
Yeah, we love
Yes.
a little spice here. Veronica might have a chance to use that butcher's block after all. See
We can
how Chris
only hope.
chooses. It is. It's true. That's what we're all rooting for here. Ooh, okay. So top pair, top kicker. Chris getting sneaky with the check.
Well, 5 by 5 has a straight.
He does. And Keith has obliged with a pretty healthy bet there. So this is going to be an interesting spot.
So
It's a
now five by
mandatory
five
raise,
has to
right?
think, yeah, it's a mandatory raise, but he's thinking how much? How much can I get out of a 10 or a two pair?
And
Yeah, perfect. A
it was a
perfect
good
amount.
one. Yeah, he calibrated that really well. And I don't blame Keith for paying off there either. That was a three card straight. He's got top pair, top kicker. Keith's Chris is capable of having all sorts of junk in that spot. So just a bad spot for Keith, I'm afraid.
I don't know, the audience has all the tells on 5 by 5. So I think like Monkey System doesn't see them, but the rest of us do, obviously.
Mm,
The chat pros.
the chat pros. That's right. And it's interesting because they can see each other as they're playing here with the cameras at poker now. They can't see each other's cards, only we can. But they can get those kind of live reads from each other as they're playing. Is that something? Is that how valuable is that in a situation like this, Frank?
Well, I just love it because it takes away the like bot feel of poker. I almost think
Mm,
now that I'm watching this, like we have so many issues with real-time assistance and like in the future, you might be able to code a bunch of bots to play for you. But this kind of brings a wholesomeness back to poker if there ever was. This brings
mm,
back the person that you're playing against. It's cool to see the person. I like this.
mm-hmm.
I'm digging this.
And I'll just plug Poker Now again. I mean, this is one of the great things about Poker Now. It's a free platform. You just go to www.poker.now. You can play with your friends. You can use the mic. You can use the camera. It adds like a social element to the game. And we use it in a lot of our training material here because you have the ability to go God mode, see the cards up as you're playing. And so we use this for our deep dive seminar, the play, explain, and learn. It's a great platform and it's free, and we'd love for folks to go and support it. You can also support them with your donations if you're planning, so go check that out. So a pair of aces versus a pair of kings, it could get messy here.
We're hoping for. We're
That's what
hoping
we
for some
want.
messiness. Yeah.
Bring it on. And Keith has been kind of he's out of position, so he's in that check call mode even with second pair. And I'm sure he's gonna call when he makes the check here, the insta call. That's the play he's decided to make. He thinks it's more valuable than leading and getting called by a horse team.
I
And
have a
now
feeling. Yeah,
as
I
the
knew we were going to go to two.
sizing
Yeah,
gets
I knew the
down, right? So
sizing.
the stacks get shallower, and so do the open
Well,
sizes.
So Monkey System has been using the 2x sizing consistently.
Hmm.
It's 5 by 5 that's getting a little squirrely over there.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right. And he's got the flush draw and not much else. Goes for the check raise here. Just another example of these guys not being afraid to pull the trigger on a draw. Um, Veronica, how important is it to have bluff raises in spots like this heads up when people are playing with such wide ranges? Is it
Well,
more
I mean,
important than full ring?
I don't know if I would consider that spot a bluff raise
Good point.
because you've got some outs. But I definitely think that like if your opponent is savvy and you're just playing when you have something and you're only raising when you are nutted, you're going to be exploited. So as painful as it is, we have to include bluffs in our range. And
And,
better to bluff with a flush draw than with a seven deuce.
and is there
But yeah,
is there no, please.
I'm no, I was just saying that like that spot I wouldn't consider a true bluff, right? If it was like
Hmm.
on the river and he missed his flush, I think like depending on the turn and river, it would have been potentially a good bluff spot.
And that's a great point because I think people don't appreciate how much equity they actually have with some of these draws, especially if they got some overcards to the board. You actually have a lot of
And
equity in the
future,
hand.
you want to pick up future equity too, because
Hmm.
it's good to sometimes get caught in a bluff,
True.
because then you'll get called down more with your better hands.
Yep. If you never get called when you're bluffing, then you're not bluffing enough. That's definitely
Right.
true. And it makes it easy. It makes you easy to play against if people could just confidently fold every time you make an aggressive action.
And then if you don't bluff, you can't like show it to your opponent's face and like burn their face off with your bluff, you know?
That's right. You can't. You just can't. That's math. No, we're not going to
What kind
argue
of
with
life
math.
are you living if you
Yeah.
can't like fucking dunk on your opponent with their
Burn
bluff?
his face off. Just do it. Incinerate
Yeah,
his face
that's
with a
a
bluff
Todd
every once
Brunson
in a while.
thing.
I know.
Burn
I
someone's
know it.
face off.
Yeah. Now I got to go find a restaurant somewhere and take a photograph of my gazpacho. That's what we do when Todd
I love
Brunson
me some
wins.
Todd. I love Roma Deli, by the way. I don't know if your viewers have gone there when you're in Vegas. Roma Deli, yeah, sure, it's owned by Todd Brunson, big whoop, but the place is good. Very good.
Oh, they are a
I
sponsor of the show actually. So I'm so glad to hear you say that. It's that kind of
Are they
natural,
actually?
organic. No,
How rich is Todd? Holy shit. I was
they
gonna
wouldn't have to be
text Todd
that
right
rich.
now,
Come
like
at us, Todd.
I want at least a 20% off gift card, Todd.
Yeah, I think you deserve it. That was some
I do,
selfless
of
service that you
course.
just laid out there on the line. I hope he knows what a friend he has
I
in you.
love the whole family. I love their whole family. I love the Brunsons. I love Todd's sister, Pamela. I love Doyle. They all follow me on Twitter, by the way. That's my only claim to fame. So,
Well, it's just a boring old hand. No one making anything. King High wins again. And we do have, again, we're in the situation where Chris has developed quite a chip lead, about 4-1. And with Keith having the first match under his belt, this does create an opportunity for Chris to come and level the playing field. And it'll be interesting to see where we go. Will there be a third match?
yeah,
Stay
well,
tuned.
Keith was our 0.33% winner. So we'll see
That's
if
right.
someone grabs the rest of it.
So that was some pretty quick math
I
there,
mean,
Veronica. Kudos.
yeah, thanks. It was tough, but I pulled through. So we're looking for a gut shot here, 5 by 5, but we got to fold out a monkey system.
Interesting spot
Ooh,
here. Yeah, monkeys. Chris is blocking monkeys' set potential, but it doesn't look
yeah.
good for Chris when his only live card is an undercard.
See, 5 by 5's got a little bit more of a spicy opening range or opening amount, I should say, and
Mm-hmm.
range and
Mm-hmm.
range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
true.
like it. You give them a little, and if they push back, then you can fold.
Yep.
But it's better to be the aggressor.
Yep. Just give people an opportunity to fold. Poker's a game about making people fold the better hand. If you only ever win when you have the best hand, we all just trade chips around. It's a very boring way to play poker. You need to win when you don't have the best hand, or else you're never really going to be a profitable poker.
Did you guys put in the floppy disk for all paired boards? Is that what we're doing here tonight?
I didn't want to announce it, but we did insert the floppy disk for all paired. Actually, it was a new release. It's paired boards and monotone boards, 2 for the price of 1.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did get that. It was a 30% increase in monthly subscription pay, but I think it's
Totally
worth it.
worth it. Totally worth
Yeah.
it. I know. No, 5 stars. 5 stars.
One
Now
day
the
you should
double
try out
paired
the
board.
all straight flushes. That's the fun one.
When you truly test the mettle of the players. So
Right.
again, we see, could be a fireworks hand here. Anytime the players are sharing a card, it's less likely that we'll see one on the flop. But of course, when it does come out, in a spot like this, oh my God, where they've got competing
Wow.
draws, this could get messy, or
Wow.
juicy, or spicy.
I'm here for the spiciness. Leads with just a dry draw.
I
Gets
like the
raised.
raise here. Gets it.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a
okay.
call
So
is good.
this is going to be interesting. This is going to slow things down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, we got a paired board. Now 2 flush draws.
Oh, but not for Chris
Neither one of
Jones.
them have that. Yeah.
Amazing. And
Damn,
there
that
you
hand
go.
had so much potential for slaughter.
I
But
know. I know. Michael Babker in the chat says, "Show me the spice." He's here for it. He's here for it, Veronica. Now, Monkey's ahead here. It's not a great board for him, but I think he'll probably. Oh, yeah, and he puts the bet out there because he was the pre-flop aggressor, and it's amazing how often that works, isn't it?
so 5x5 said that he's open to getting ears. And 5x5, I don't know if you're on Instagram or Twitter, but DM me and I'll actually set you up with she's an 18-year-old girl who sells ears on Etsy and they're like $15. And you'd be
Etsy ears.
supporting a little business by the sweetest girl.
There you go. All right.
She does
And
cosplay
Veronica,
outfits.
okay, so she's got range. She's got range,
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
I'm hearing.
She's so sweet. She's in my Discord server and she plays Among Us with
Oh,
us. So
nice.
she's
Oh,
very
that's
sweet.
awesome. Yeah, Among Us. Is that still going? That was very popular a little while ago. I don't know. Is that
Yeah,
still
it was
cool to
very
play?
popular. It was very popular during COVID for sure. There's
Yes.
still a few servers I'm a part of that are playing, but like who has the time now?
Yeah.
So
In this economy, come on.
in this economy, on this year of our Lord, 2023.
And Veronica, I should say, if folks do want to get in touch with you, I flagged it earlier. It's angry_Polak on Twitter. Is that the best place, or where else would you like people to reach out if they want to get more Veronica Brill in their lives?
Twitter's probably my jam. Twitter's where my sarcasm holds,
Right.
is effective mostly. But I'm on Instagram, angry_Polak, and then I'm on TikTok, Veronica Brill. But my TikTok is boring. My content's shit. Don't bother.
And you can always reach her on her personal cell phone at 911. So don't hesitate to reach out. She's
Yeah.
very approachable.
Yeah, exactly. We got the 7 deuce game going on, ladies and gentlemen.
And Keith says, "No, I refuse. I'm not playing the 7 deuce game." You get that classic 2x from Monkey here, and another Canadian smooth call, from Chris up there. Oh boy. Oh my.
Oh, buddy, you're such a hoser. We're just oot and a boot with these hands.
Forget it. Just forget it. So Monkey System
Classic
does
smooth call.
the classic smooth call, eh? Oh boy. So we got a couple of, it's really just a draw. It's draw heaven out here. The only way anyone's gonna make a real hand here is, oh, we officially got her. We got her.
Why didn't you start drinking tequila 2 hours ago? This is top-notch material. Just a classic smooth call.
I'm so glad you say that, because this is like the ceiling for humor for me. This is as good as it gets.
You're oot of control.
Oh, I'm totally oot. Forget about it.
Totally oot.
Totally. All right.
You're
Well,
a
we'll definitely
hoser
see.
over there. I'm trying to train my entire team to say toque and not beanie.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna
it's the
go
right
for
way to describe it.
poutine.
Yeah.
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 Who wears a
It's like you
beanie?
never
That's
left.
silly.
It's like you never
Yeah.
left. Yeah. Is it
So Monkey System's got a pair here. We were yammering on, so I don't remember the pre-flop action. Not sure if 5x5 put in a raise to help
looks
himself with
like
this turn. This is a
looks
good
like
bluff
a
turn
raise
for
and a
him.
call. Yeah, that's right. Because he being the opener, he's gonna have more aces. And
Yeah, I would get greasy and put in a raise here and see, but fold's another option. Fold doesn't win my love and affection though, 5x5, but a fold is an option.
So, folks, those are the stakes. That's what's available here. So,
Again, we
Chris,
do have the paired board
we have
floppy
that
disk
update. Yeah,
edition
it's installed.
installed here, running our MS-DOS.
Hey, MS-DOS, as far as I'm concerned, is when computing peaked. I used to be good at computers back in the day of MS-DOS. These days, it's like, oh God, who even knows? Got to find a millennial, get in here, and like the millennials are like 40 now, aren't they? Like we talk about millennials like they're these kids causing trouble all over the place, but
The
they have
elder millennials are
RRSPs.
in their 40s. Yeah. Gather around, children. Let Grandma show
Hear
you
the
the
tales.
Snapchat.
Chris says, let's be honest, I'm not winning your love and affection until I get the ears. Good point. Good point, Chris. Yep, you got to know your
Yeah.
audience there.
I'm happy
And
to
he
share my
does.
ears. I have 3 sets of ears. So if
One of
you're
my
really hard
favorite,
up for ears, let me know.
yep, angry_Polak. One of my favorite Canadian musicians is a guy named Craig Cardiff. And at his shows, he always thanks the audience for their ears. Thank you for your ears, he says. Classy guy,
If
Craig Cardiff.
the fact that you didn't say Bryan Adams, that should be your favorite Canadian musician.
I mean,
So,
he's on the list. Come on. What?
come
Talk
on,
about like
Bryan Adams is
millennial
top.
generational gap here, I think, a little bit when it comes to Bryan Adams. Although I will admit, I lip synced a Bryan Adams song in my vocals high school class for credit. That was like one of the things we had to do for a project. And I chose a Bryan Adams song. You can guess which one it
The Canadian education, ladies and gentlemen, you guys think you have it bad in America.
is.
Canada's many steps ahead of you.
So
Lip
here we get.
syncing to Bryan Adams.
That's right.
Monkey System with the flush, just
Yep.
going at it.
Value bet with the 3 of diamonds. I love it. And they're having some fun here. Look at Keith and Chris smiling, giving each other the gears, having a good time. This is the rec poker mantra. We have to have fun, enjoy the game. It's a freaking game, folks. Like come and enjoy this wonderful game of poker that we all love so much.
Yeah, and if you guys could donate to Rec Poker, because I'm charging them $3,000 for this commentary, that would be
Yeah,
great.
this is not cheap, folks. We are
I'm
kind
easy,
of in
but I'm not
trouble
cheap.
as an
Yeah.
organization. Yeah. I didn't read the fine print carefully enough, and this could be what ruins. This could be what puts us belly up. So I really appreciate if you. We could use some extra premium members to help get us through the Brill fiasco, if you know what I'm saying. Oh
Yeah.
God, what have I gotten us into? So
Sorry,
Monkey
not
System.
sorry.
No, you're not sorry. You're just wringing us dry. I know what's going
Just
on here.
send me a couple trillion Zimbabwe dollars will be good.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
Monkey System pairs his ace,
He's
and
got one of my
5x5
favorite
not
hands.
much.
That ace 5 suited is just you can do it can do no wrong. Hey Veronica, is there any wrong way to play ace 5 suited, or are they all good?
No, they're all good.
I
There are
guess
much better
folding.
ways. They're they're better. Ace 5 is easier to play than jacks. How's that?
I think
Look
you're
at
right.
this flop. Look at this
Oh
flop for
my
Monkey
God.
System.
See?
And 5x5 also. We just want the grease.
Yep. Bring it on. We're pro Greece right now in a very heavy way.
That did not
We
help any of us, especially in the audience.
comment from the chat, the Tragically Hip. That is the Canadian band that's legendary here and you've never heard of. They are a fantastic band. Like most Canadians, we've hung out. They are a fantastic group, though. Every Canadian has their story about how they hung out with the Tragically Hip, but they've got a
I
freaking
didn't. I never
phenomenal
hung out with
discography.
Tragically Hip,
Did you not?
but I did like
You're the
the
one.
Smalls. I was more of an
Mm.
indie kind of
Mm-hmm.
indie rock alternative stuff. And the Smalls, I really loved the Smalls, but
I was
they never made it big.
Well, they weren't the bigs. I kind of preferred the bigs. I thought they had a better chance of really making it on the grand scheme because they didn't sell themselves short. You know what I mean? That was one problem I always had with the smalls. Bjamin says
What
that's his
was
favorite band. Yep.
what city did you grow up in?
I grew up in Toronto, but I lived in Halifax for a long time, and I heartily recommend Halifax.
What was the thing to do in Halifax when you were growing up?
Well, actually, I went there mostly for my university career, so it was a lot of just drinking and rabble rousing. That was what we got up to
What
out
did you
there.
take in school in
Philosophy.
university?
That was a philosophy major. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you needed to drink. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
accept that.
mean,
Yeah.
once you understand really what the world's all about through the study of philosophy, it gets dark pretty quick.
Yeah. That's why I'm a nihilist. So, yeah, I get it.
Smart. Get ahead of it. That's what I say. Just
Yeah.
get right ahead of it. Don't even give it a chance. Just meet darkness with darkness. Wise decision, right?
5 by 5 here with a pair of threes. Can't feel too comfortable, but it's a small pot. I don't know if he's gonna get any value. He like there's yes, you have to check back. You're not getting value out of anything. Maybe a
Yeah,
high card.
that's a great point. That's a great point. Because even though you've got a pair, the question is what worse hand is going to call, and
Right.
and it wasn't there.
All
Pocket
right. Six king
sixes.
deuce flop. Let's do it.
Ah, and we've just started shoving now. So Chris has Keith right where he wants him. He's sub 15 big blinds, and Chris is just going to start shoving with a lot of these hands now. And you can see Monkey System starting to limp his small blind as the stacks get shorter. He wants to be able to play more hands. And Chris getting kind of sneaky here, and it might pay off for him.
I think he has to just shove here.
And he does. Monkey System lays it all in there. Chris set the trap. It snaps shut, and we're a 7 or a 9 away from going on to match 3. It will be a third match. There will
Oh, the
be a
nail
third
biter.
match. Oh my.
We have two winners now, two
Ooh,
33% winners. Look at
that's
that.
true.
I'm proud of both of them.
I like it. And this is why we do this with the best 2 out of 3 for the finals, because we really want people to, we don't want this to be just a question of chance. We want this to be something where the best of the best really come to the fore. So we've got some good news for our audience here. We get to play a third match. We're going to check and see if anybody had a winning guess when it came to the prize. I didn't see the Queen of Diamonds out there. I don't think we had a winner for the winning hand. King 10, the classic, the, the as I'm famously aware of, the King 10 is a garbage hand. No one should play it. It was not one of the guesses. Well done, everybody. And we're going to head into the third match in just a minute. Veronica, so our third shot of tequila tonight is brought to you
Oh,
by
the M?
Terramana. Yes. Oh my God. Math and spelling. Veronica is leading the charge tonight. It's the M.
Amazing.
The M glass. Also
It's
compliments of my
amazing.
friend Kathy. Note the Steelers colors, some nice yellow elements there. Some stylish lettering. Way to go, Kathy. Thank you. Veronica,
Kathy's
why
the
don't you talk?
best.
Isn't she the best? She's just the best, I swear. Tell
I
us a
can't
little
survive
bit.
without Kathy. Yeah.
Actually, Kathy still lives in Halifax. She was one of the friends I made when I was going to school out there. And I'd encourage everyone to go check out the fantastic city of Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's a great province. It's a great town. I know easy
You
for me to
won't
say that. I
understand
went to school
anyone
there.
there, but you should go.
Yeah, just check it out. Check it out. What's the worst thing
Y-
that can happen? Veronica, give me a moment to sip my new friend here and just tell us a little bit, a couple more insights, a couple more takeaways from match number 2. How about a prediction? We're going into the third match here. Based on what you've seen so far, who do you think is bringing the edge into the final of all finals, match number 3 of the MaREC Madness finals?
Look, I don't want anyone to get mad at me because I know everyone's,
Too late.
trying to win my heart over. But I really am liking the way Monkey System is playing. And I think he just got a little bit cooler there. But
Mm.
I like how he's adjusting and I love his consistency with his opening sizes. And, I'm not saying that Chris isn't just as good of a loser as Monkey, but I think that like if I have to gun to head, I have to pick who will potentially win. I'll say monkey system.
All right. Well, that's what's happening right now. Folks can't tell, but just off screen, I have a remote controlled weapon that is aiming directly at Veronica from just to the side of her home in California. I wasn't going to broadcast that information, Veronica, but since you put it
Please
out there,
take me out of my misery. Just do it. Don't even wait for anything.
that's right. We'll make it quick when it happens, I promise. But in the meantime, we're having too much fun here to let you go this early. We're going to start getting ready for match number 3 here. So again, I just want to thank all the contestants for what they've done. It's been a fantastic show. Let's get into match number 3, the match to end all matches. When we start up here again, you will see Chris Jones up at the top and Keith Brandt at the bottom. We've got the red felt out because this is for all the marbles. And when it gets bloody, we don't want it to be too, like we don't want it, it's disquieting for some people. It can kind of put some people off. So it's just going to blend right in. And when
We're
it
starting
comes
with
to
100 big blinds again, in case none of
100
you are
big
paying
blinds,
attention.
that's right.
Because the commentary is so entertaining,
And they're both starting with
Wait,
Queen 2. And actually, we've programmed each player to get the exact same hand for every hand of this final match. So it's a real test of who can outplay the other, as we see a series of identical hands being played out in real time here on Poker Now.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Poker Rhythm, but they made an attempt to play the exact same hands at 4 different tables, and it was an interesting concept.
I mean, I do like the idea of kind of standardizing that because it really does. Another great program that we work with is Unshuffled. The Unshuffled Challenge, if you go to unshuffled.io, it's a similar platform to this. They have their own series of matches and competitions where you play the same hands as everyone else in the competition in the same order against the same bots. And so whoever can extract the most value gets the most points, and that's how you can win a prize. So it is kind of a cool
Oh, that's
concept.
really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like how it takes kind of the variance out of it a little bit because everyone has exactly the same spot, which is pretty interesting.
So,
I
I mean,
love.
2 mediocre hands here.
Yeah,
Nothing wild.
who's going to take
Um,
it away first? Keith makes it happen.
there's also something to be said about like having a win under your belt. So 5x5 just won a match, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to maintain momentum.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating
Mm-hmm.
when you're clawing back from behind. So
Yeah,
luckily
and
they
I
both
mean,
started again with 100 big blinds.
and like momentum isn't a thing like mathematically, but it's definitely a thing
A
psychologically.
mental thing for
Yeah,
sure.
100%. And I mean, confidence matters when it comes to this kind of stuff. You need to be able to pull the trigger believing that it'll work, or else you're just playing scared money and you don't have a chance. So now Chris is sitting here on a pair of sixes. That's not a great board for a pair of sixes, but it is hard to make a hand. I expect we're gonna. Oh, he goes for the lead. I love it. Although, like kind of like you were talking about there earlier, Veronica, I'm not sure he can get value from a lot of hands. Although with a small sizing like that, I like it. I'm, getting in the chat a fun comment from our producer, Taylor Moss. Who can play who? Yeah, good question. Eh? Let's find out. Let's go circle around the maple syrup and see what we can do about this whole thing.
I'm telling you, there are some. Do you want me to tell you what I miss most about Canada? It hurts me that I can't get Tim Hortons. The
Oh,
steeped tea at Tim Hortons,
oh yeah.
you'll never find better tea.
Yep.
I miss
That's
it so much.
Mrs. Bluffsterini's favorite by a long shot. That's a staple. I'm a
A
Timmy's junkie
large,
too. I can't help it.
the large steep tea, and people in America don't know double double. They don't know what I mean
No,
when I say, oh, just give me a double double. They're like,
no,
what do
they
you
have
mean
no
double
idea.
double?
They have no
Yeah.
idea. That'll just be our
Tim
inside
Hortons
joke
has it
tonight.
down packed. Yeah, you gotta order it perfectly at Tim Hortons. Double double.
Yep. Come on visit, folks, if you want. We're going to be doing a trip up to Playground Poker Club sometime soon. If you want to get a taste of that Canadian Tim Hortons experience, you got to cross the
Oh,
border, head on
I
north
miss it
up
so
here,
much.
get a piece of
They're
it.
apparently opening up a Tim Hortons in Texas, in Houston, so we'll see.
Oh, it'll be crap. They've got a few in New York, right along the border. Like as you're driving into the states, you can still pick up a Timmy's for a few blocks into the wilderness that is United States. But I don't know if it'll make it down to Texas. That'll be interesting.
I love this 3-bet out of Monkey System, 7.9 big blinds with an ace deuce suited. You gotta hate your hand when you have 7-3 here, even
Hmm.
though it's suited.
Yeah,
Don't
if the
fall in
heart
love with the
wins.
suits too much, guys.
Hmm. We got a comment from Chris in the chat. They opened Tim Hortons in the Twin Cities, but they all closed. No one knew how to
Oh,
order, right? Exactly. That's the
they
problem.
didn't know
It's an
about the double
education
double.
gap. No, there's an education gap, I think, at play there. That is a
Right,
big problem.
right. Well, the problem is
Reminder,
America has like a big lack of education when it comes to Tim Hortons.
and,
So,
and Canadian
and in
culture
general.
generally. Yeah, yeah. I'm not even sure they can spell Canada if you spot on the A and like or three A's and a C. I don't know. We'll see. We're not big on the radar yet. Let's be honest. They've got bigger things to
Well,
worry
it's
about than
Canada A. You always miss the EH. That's what a
extra
lot of people
A.
miss.
Oh my. Um, and so, reminder, folks, get those guesses in. This is going to be your last chance to win a prize. If you can guess the winning hand, you can be the winner tonight. I mean, not the winner, because the winner is going to be either Chris Jones or Keith Branch. But you can
So
be
five
a
by
winner.
five, I have lost all love for 5x5. He said
Uh-oh.
Dunkin' Donuts is better. Oh no, it is
Oh
not. It is
no.
nowhere near as good.
Chris, get your head back in the game, you galoot.
Th-
What are you
If
doing?
I wanted to go to an outhouse, I will go to Dunkin' Donuts. If I want to go
That's
to a
right.
proper coffee and tea place, I'm going to go to Tim Hortons.
There
That's
you
just
go.
these are the facts. This is not an opinion. These are just
Facts.
the a
That's
factual statement
math.
that I'm saying.
You're not going to argue with science, are you, Chris?
Yeah, this is
Even I
science.
heard the outhouse on that one. So you don't worry, Veronica, you still got it. You still got
So 5x5 right now, talking about Tim Hortons badly, that's what you get. You don't get your aces played.
it. That's
You
right.
got to fold those. You can't use them.
Nope. Takes two to tango, jerk.
Yeah, talking shit about our Tim Hortons. Not in my house. So
Oh,
two
the chat
garbage
is
hands.
lively. The chat is lively tonight. Yep. Who's going to take it away? Who's going to take it away? That's the game we're playing. And heads up here, who has the heart? Who has the heart to put it out there? Chris knows weak hands don't win hands. Oh my God.
How does he get aces so many times?
Got a chance at
Which floppy
redemption
disk
here.
did you use for this
Yeah,
program?
I'll double check. It's one of the big 5.5 inch floppies because we only have those in Canada now.
Yeah.
But they're
It would have
pretty.
been nice if those hearts were diamonds. Oh, what a beaut
Oh,
that would be.
what a beaut indeed! Quite the beaut.
See, you speak my language, you know.
So interesting spot. Yeah, it's not going to be that interesting. It's just a question of laying it down, and bad hands
So
go away quickly here.
a lot of people think that like getting coolered is, bad luck. I think like one of the worst lucky things, I don't believe in luck, but I'm saying this in a poker way, but one of the worst unlucky things the most unlucky things that can happen to you in poker is like having aces and your opponents have
Mm,
nothing and then they end up
hmm
folding to you and you're just like,
hmm
oh, it's supposed to double up here.
Yeah, it
So
stinks. I mean,
that's 5x5. He's getting these aces. Yeah.
having aces in the big blind and getting the walk, that's really the worst. When you don't even get a chance to put a chip in, everyone just lets you
Yeah.
walk away with it. And like, why
It
couldn't
just
this be the
hurts,
time you're
man.
going to be a jerk? Yeah. We got a comment from Joanne Bird, JB Twin Cities. She got aces 4 times yesterday in the first round of the deep stack, and also kings and queens twice. Oh my God. Go buy a lottery ticket, Joanne. It's not too late. Get yourself out to a local convenience store and buy that lottery ticket. You have a
Look at
chance to take it.
Monkey System
Oh
just
wow.
flopping the nuts here at, well, I mean,
Wow.
effectively
Hey,
the
this
nuts,
is
and then
this is
5x5
PG-13,
with two
Veronica.
pair.
Yeah, I mean it's a setup deck here. The straight versus 2 point. Boy, that is versus two
And then
pair. That is a
Monkey
tricky spot.
System with the extra equity with the flush draw, Jack of Spades, the straight flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Oh, that was the wrong card to pair for Chris. Unfortunately, he's going to need some real gymnastics to get out of this one. Um, Although it might slow him down a bit now that the sevens have kind of been counterfeit.
I
Is that
love
as
Monkey
relevant here
System.
in heads up?
Uh, what relevant because the board
Well,
paired?
yeah, because now because he used to have two pair, but now his sevens have kind of been counterfeit by the pair of eights on the
Yeah,
board.
yeah. Yeah, I think like it depends on Monkey System's betting size, right? So
Mm,
his betting amount is like just a good amount to let 5x5 call, but he knows better.
He does.
Yeah,
Savvy
he
player.
may have called if the bet was a little smaller.
Mm-hmm. We got a comment from Chris in the chat here. He's married to a Canadian, so he does have lots of Tim Hortons experience. Anyone can make a good donut. He judges those places by the coffee. Okay, so he's bringing some facts. Like
He's
he's
coming out
not.
swinging.
Yeah, he's coming out swinging. That's right.
Canada did burn down the White House at some point, so I'm just saying, watch out.
I bring it up every month in our planning meeting here. It's a point of emphasis. Like just careful, guys. Just so you know.
Americans don't actually know that, like so many Americans I've told, but we get taught that in school in Canada because, we got to stick it to the Americans.
That's right. Mrs. Bluffsterini grew up in Toronto, but she went to school in Pittsburgh for high school, and she tells me her history class just totally glosses over how
Yeah.
that whole war thing went down. So she had to make a point of letting everyone there know that that the Canadians came and burned the White House down.
We were
Oh, what a
probably
shit
drunk, but
disturber!
we
What a shit
we did
disturber!
what we did.
It's true. Yeah, judge us, history. We're here. So it feels like
So,
Keith is in the driver's seat with this one.
yes, very much so. I feel like Keith's in the driver's seat often.
He's he's been
He's
he's
His
been putting it out
sizing's
there.
good.
Mm.
Yeah, his timing's good. I know they're still pretty neck to neck, but I really like Monkey Systems play.
He is your
Five
pick.
by five sniffing it out. He knows what's going on. Like I like it too. They're
Yeah,
both
no, he's
There's
a
a reason why they both have made final tables and lost, but both have made final tables before here.
boy. Taylor is just loving all the abuse that we're heaping on our two contestants here tonight. I can tell. If I know Taylor, and I do, he's really enjoying this experience so far tonight. But that is a good point, Veronica. I mean, both these players have played heads up quite a bit. They've gotten to this position on the merit of their skill, and it's no surprise that we're seeing some savvy plays, some savvy laydowns, and a kind of disappointing
This
lack of
three bet.
skew.
Yeah, this three bet out of Monkey System. I like it. That was really nice. Well played.
Chris says,
And we can
"No, no, please, sir."
no, I was just talking about poker.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just jump in. Chris is putting into the chat. So Chris and Taylor have a bit of a rivalry here. There's like there's a villainous relationship between the two of them. So Chris says, oh, so Chris had said, you mean first round exit, Taylor, in the chat? And then our producer Taylor came by and deleted it as a moderator.
I love that the guy that we're doing commentary on is getting deleted. You're going to get banned. You're about to get
Oh,
banned, Monkey
Taylor
System.
Taylor will put him on a timeout for sure. Taylor's
Oh, it's
famous for
five
his
by five that's
timeouts.
about to get banned. Okay, 5x5 is
Yeah,
about to
I
get
think
banned.
so. I think so. So a fantastic spot for Keith here, flopping top two pair. And Chris is just holding on. He's going to be in position. He's got, a lot of heart going for him at this point, I'll say. He needs a hell of a run out to turn this around.
Yeah, he's just going to fold here. There's nothing else for him to do, especially with his opponent leading.
4 outs to the straight and
More
nothing else
oots,
to
more
really.
oots, yeah.
4 oots to the straight. Not in the perfect place and does make the discipline
Yeah.
fold.
It would be nice if they showed the equity.
Mm-hmm. Although, yeah, I guess it's interesting because that would be an interesting element to add to the God mode. Obviously, that wouldn't be something that they'd want displayed to the individual players while they were playing, but to the God mode player, that would be a nice feature to add here.
It would be sick here if 5x5 decided to call. Just as sick as his comments in the chat. No. He's only
Oh.
he's only pounding his chest in the chat, not on the table, I see.
And they both have aces, so you never know. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. We were talking earlier about how hard it is to have an ace. Shots fired, says Michael Backer. Pew pew. Look out. Oh, and just like we
Here,
say,
I'm
here
here
they
for the
are.
Timbits and the entertainment.
So I like, Monkey System went for the 3-bet there. This is a value 4-bet from Chris, I think, with ace-9 offsuit, heads up. Does that feel like a value? Is this a hand you want to be value 4-betting, Veronica, or is it too ambitious? Just an absolute strength
Oh,
hand.
I like this. He's getting
Hmm.
greasy. Oh,
It's
I
getting
like it. I
greasy.
mean, you can't just be four betting your aces and kings,
Hmm.
right? You got to mix up your four betting range, and the fact that you're playing deep enough to be able to four bet, that's good. I like
That's
that.
it.
That was a well played hand.
There you go. So some redemption in the book of Veronica Brill for Chris 5x5 Jonas.
Yeah, I'll sign my book next time. You guys can buy it off me. It's only $1,000.
Deal. That's a bargain. Unlock the wisdom in the pages within.
I wrote it after drinking a bottle of tequila.
And we know with your discriminating taste, that was some excellent tequila.
Right. The bottle I picked up at the strip club. Yeah.
Some of the finest establishments in California, from what I understand. I've never been to California, but maybe one
You
day.
haven't been to California? No, I've only gone to Vegas strip clubs, but California, you haven't have you been to actual California?
No, no, I've actually, that wasn't a joke. I've never been to California.
Oh, wow. Well, you need to get down here. It's a
I
big,
agree.
beautiful state.
I've heard that.
We're
I've heard it's a
under
big, beautiful
all of
state.
it's underwater right now because we've had massive flooding, but it's a really nice place.
Way to sell it. Way to sell the state generally. Yeah, come bring
This
your
has
sample.
been this has been the worst year for weather in California for sure since
Weren't
I've
there
moved to
like a bunch
California.
of devastating fires just in the last few years? Like, get it together,
A couple
California.
years
Make up
ago.
your mind. Make up your
I
mind.
know, right?
Just one or the other, or both at the
We
same
need
time. That would actually solve a lot of problems.
we need to figure this shit out. We're not doing a good job.
Get it together, California. Jesus. But
It's embarrassing. I
I'll come.
apologize.
I'll come. I apologize. So far, that's the
Board's paired, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Game's rigged.
we got the floppy disk firmly inserted. We're making all the exciting boards here.
Oh, finally a seven on the river. Yes. Two pair for monkey system. Let's go. 5x5's just folding here. He's just posturing. He's like, can he call with a king high? Oh no, sorry. He does have a pair. He has a pair of sixes.
He's in heaven.
I just like it's just not a call. I don't know what he's
Okay.
he does call. Did he actually call? Wow, what a
I looked away for
savage.
1 second. I looked away for one freaking second.
I
The
think
last
he
second.
called. That was a savage call. Wow. Respectful, savage call. Just looking him up. Unfortunately, you would have looked like a genius had you been, had it been a different hand, but still respectable play.
Yep, absolutely. So this again, just two good hands coming at it here. I like the 3-bet from Monkey System here. This is just a chance to express a little more aggression, like you say, Veronica, and apply some pressure.
Well, monkey system pairs his jack. Um, 5x5s just needs some help on the turn and river to make
Hmm.
anything. Either backdoor spades or backdoor straight.
He's getting a pretty good price. Keith leads out for a third pot. Keith or Chris is in position, so he has the opportunity to call here.
I love this bet sizing because if you get raised, it's probably an ace and it's just kind of an easy fold. More than
Hmm.
likely you're gonna get drawing hands to call you and um, you want to deny them a little bit of equity, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's
And with a pair of
it's
jacks on
good.
that board, you're not that worried about protection, and so you can afford to make the smaller bet there, which I like. Now that's a pretty fantastic card for Chris, because it gives him the flush. Oh wow, a
Well, and
lot.
then that's what happens also.
Yikes! Holy cow.
Yeah.
Um, second pair.
Five
Do you like a lead from
five
Keith
by
here
five
still?
needed this.
Yeah. So mandatory
Uh,
raise coming. Is it a shove? It's all in. Okay, so there you go. Let's see.
and
Let's
now you hate
see.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good fold.
Yep. I think
It's a
so
good
too.
fold.
So a bit of a, that was a pretty pivotal hand here. Chris has a little over 80 big blinds and Keith's got 50. So again, no one's getting desperate. I like this deep structure. No one's in a rush. There's
Yeah,
no.
they're not a woman in their 40s. They're not desperate at all, you know. They're they're doing great.
So how old would you say they are as women, on a desperation scale? Like, let's get a little more specific.
Oh,
Let's feel like
they're like
late
they're young
20s.
whippersnapper. No, they're like mid-20s. They're
Oh,
peaking.
that's such a great time. Such a great time in someone's life. I remember those days.
Oh, I had way too much fun. A a regretful amount of fun, but it's fine. I'm happy I did it.
It's the sign of a life well lived, Veronica. And we're just all
It
glad you
is.
survived, frankly. I mean, given what you've been through, it's amazing you're here and coherent. It speaks to your
After
character.
after growing up in Canada.
Oh, tough to do. And in Edmonton, of all places, it's very cold out there and quite boring.
I did not. It was not that boring. I had a great time. I was I was doing something all the time. I was out all the time. I was vacationing with my girlfriends. I had a lot of fun in my 20s.
Yep, she was out having a good time up there
Boot
in
and a boot.
Edmonton. Oot and a boot. If you've tried oot, you'll love a boot. I mean, really, give
Oh
it a go.
yeah, for sure. Well, oot is the first mechanism to get into a boot,
It's hard to
right?
get into a boot without a little oot. Yeah,
Right.
it's not
Well,
easy.
I've
Not
never heard
easy.
of anyone getting into a boot without oot. You always need to start with oot.
Yep, yep.
There's no fast way to a boot.
It's dangerous. I've heard of people trying it, but
It,
I don't advise.
Americans have tried it. It is dangerous. People have died. Ladies and gentlemen, take us seriously. Always start with oot before you a boot.
So I like Chris leading with the two pair there. Just gets snapped off by Keith with the three of diamonds to make the flush. But I do think he can get called by some worse hands in a spot like this where, as we say, we're heads up, ranges are wide. It's hard to make a hand. I like the heart on Chris there, putting the bet out.
Some dirty rivers here.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are feeling it.
We're hearing that in the chat too. We got an animated chat tonight. People are getting excited because a
Well,
victor
they're
is
ooting a
about to be
boot.
crowned. I mean, oh, they're
Yeah.
very aboot. Yeah. Well, they've been oot
Yeah.
and now
They're
they're
a boot
aboot.
it.
They took the
Yeah.
correct route to get here.
Yeah.
The oot
They're a
and a
boot
boot
it
route.
for sure.
Yeah, that's the route to take.
The root for oot and a boot.
You nailed it. Thank you. I set him up. You knock him down. That's how we're gonna do things.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Sorry you guys got stuck with a couple of awesome Canadians.
Yeah, it's a rough show. JB Twin Cities says all the tequila. And that's patently not true, Joanne. I've got 3 huge bottles of tequila next to me here, and I've only had a small amount of each and 3 Rolsch. I'm on the 3rd Rolsch, but we're doing
Small.
our best.
Yeah.
Veronica will testify. We started a little early. We started drinking a little early. Some of the pregame warm-up activities involved wetting the old whistle a little here,
I
just to
mean,
kind of
you're
grease the pipes.
Canadian. It's illegal if you don't,
It's to keep
right?
warm.
You
It's
don't
to keep warm.
you
We
don't
need
want to
it.
get arrested by the mounted police, the Canadian mounted police. And there's nothing worse getting dragged out of your house on a horse
Oh
in the middle of
God,
winter.
this happens so many times. Signs of a misspent youth. You know, that's how you know you're in trouble around there.
Well, 5x5 is loving that flop. Top pair, shitty kicker, but he doesn't care.
No, who
We're
cares
here
about
to
kickers? We're
win.
heads up. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Kickers be damned.
Uh,
Joe, yeah,
HRL says he's excited to try the Tim Hortons tequila.
gonna say that. Yeah. I think
Just ask them to put it in your steeped tea.
Nice. Now, Patron does have a coffee flavored tequila. It's like a coffee tequila liqueur. That's
Oh, that
actually
would be
very
awesome.
nice. It is really nice. I do encourage people to check that out. I wish they could use the code RECPOKER at checkout to get a discount, but you can't.
But
But
you can
just go and
try.
check it out. I mean, you can try. Yeah, you can always try.
You should try. We recommend you try.
Please videotape it and tag me at RecPokerGym on Twitter. I want to see people storming the shelves and trying to use the code RecPoker at checkout of the Liquor Control Board of Ontario for their coffee flavored liqueur from Patron. That's what I want to see.
I love it. Uh, I'm getting so caught up in the Timbits chat that I just like am missing all the good poker. And this is Monkey's got a queen here and winning another hand.
It's enough.
I
It's
f
enough to take it down.
and they're still neck to neck. It's still kind of early. They
Oh, it's
still
anybody's
it's
game.
anyone's game.
It's anybody's game. So this is going to take either a really big hand like a setup deck, or it's going to take just some grinding. We could be here all night, folks. I hope you brought plenty of
I
tequila and grolsch because we're not going anywhere.
Well, or and don't forget the poutine, but I feel like we may have not put in the floppy disk for setup deck, so we're gonna have to play some
Ah,
hardcore poker here.
all right. Well, that's the life we lead. That's the choice we made.
We've made these choices
This
and
is the
we're
life.
okay with them.
This is the life that we brought
We
upon
do like to
ourselves.
pair the boards though. That is the Canadian special, so
And we like the three flushes on there too. That's been a big part of the theme tonight. Um, Pet Vet, that's Kim Kilroy, does mention the coffee Patron. Oh no, it's discontinued. Is that what you're saying? It's discontinued now? Oh damn! That was actually a very nice liqueur. So people are missing out if that's true.
so Monkey puts in a bet on the river and scoops the pot.
Takes the chip lead,
So we
and
knew the Queen 10 was going to give a 2.2 big blind raise because a 5x5 loves his 2.2s. And look
oh
at that flop from Monkey
wow,
System.
wow, and
And
in the
top pair for 5x5, and he continues to lead.
yeah, super tiny though, and I like this idea. You
Sorry,
can
not
still get
sorry, not
called
lead,
by
but bet.
worse. Yeah,
Yeah. And Monkey System is playing this perfectly. He doesn't want
reeling
to
them
scare him
in.
away.
Yep. And Chris,
Yeah.
okay,
Put
so
that
here we
worm
go.
on that hook.
Yeah, that's right.
Little click back here. It's a little greasy. Keeps your opponent in. And how much is he going to make it?
And I kind of like this. I honestly, I do kind of like this because if the opponent calls that check raise on the turn, they have to have something of substance. And so let's target a strong part of the range here with a big bet.
Yeah, I feel like Monkey played this a little sneaky, especially on the flop. So I'm worried that 5x5 is going to call this because he thinks that like maybe he was on some sort of like maybe he's got like a 9 or something.
You could have like a hand
But
with one spade, maybe, or something that like he's
it's a
got some
tough
bluffs here.
board though. There's like 3 spades, there's a straight draw possibility. I mean, it's tough to call with a queen here because your opponent's been passive and now leading.
hmm hmm And you can tell. I mean,
But
Chris
if
is he's really thinking about it. He's going through the combos. He's got top pair. I mean, top pair is a monster in a heads up pot in a two-player pot. I mean,
So these
Captain
types of
Captain Walleye
situations, if you
says, sorry.
we want to know what Captain Walleye says.
He says the ace of spades might do this. So this might be one of those
Really
spots
good
where the ace of
fold.
spades leads out. Yeah, Chris has been I mean, honestly, the one takeaway from this that I've got for sure is Chris has been sniffing out the value bets, and he's been folding with great
This is
success.
spicy.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be.
This is spicy.
This could get
Ace
messy
queen
here.
versus jacks. We
We
got
got
a
the three
3
bet.
bet.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4 bet from Chris here, and we
So I don't
do.
mind a
You don't
I
you
don't
like the
mind a
call here just
call.
because.
Yeah, because you have position and
Mhm.
you also don't want to overinflate the pot with just an ace queen.
Right. And look
Um,
at him. He's thinking that right now. Look, I love the body language you can see here on the Poker Now platform. I mean, he's really this is match number 3, folks. I mean, this could be it. He knows he's in. He's got 2 overs. it's all going to come down to this.
Wow.
This is it. Oh,
Wow. I mean,
wow.
yeah, it's over. It's over.
And there it is.
Wow.
That's
Was I
it.
right? Was I right?
You
And
you
there's
know you
no
called it the whole
Queen of
way.
Diamonds.
You called it the whole way. Congratulations to Keith Brand. So Monkey System, way to go, man.
I
Um,
have to say, 5x5, really good match
yeah,
and very impressive to watch.
yeah, me too. I thought we had some really good competitive play here from both players. No surprise, they're the two that made it to the finals. I thought, in some of these matches, we've seen, players overplaying hands or kind of getting out of line. It's common. Poker's a hard game to play, but these two players really knew where they were in each hand. We saw some great value bets from both players. We saw some good bluffs from both players. We also saw some really good laydowns, specifically by Chris. I was really impressed. I'm not sure because I'm not sure I would have had the confidence in my game to make some of those folds that Chris made. But ultimately, congratulations to Keith Brandt, the 2023 champion of MaREC Madness. I mean, truly treading in some big footsteps around here and blazing a trail for what future Wrecking Crew members and premium members and community members here at Rec Poker can be a part of. So um, yeah, kudos to you, Keith. That's fantastic. You know what? I wasn't even paying attention to the final hand. We're gonna have to tap in our producer, Taylor Moss, to let us know if we had any winners. Doesn't seem like
Jacks
we
versus
did.
Ace Queen.
Oh yes, thank you.
There was there
I've been
was no
drinking. I've been drinking a little, so I'm a little
yeah, just a
behind on
little.
the just.
Just a little. There was no Queen of Diamonds, I don't think. I'm
So for the
pretty sure.
second week in a row, no giveaways at all. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start giving away even more prizes on the Rec Poker podcast every Monday night live on YouTube at 7:30 Eastern. We give away a prize every week on the show. It's either a free month at Rec Poker or a free month at some of our fantastic other training partners, some of the greatest
Ooh,
sites in
tell us what a
Toronto.
free month consists of. Like, what do you get with that free month?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Veronica. I'll say, one of the things that makes Rec Poker special is we don't compete with the best training sites out there. We don't pretend that we're going to provide you the top level training material to let yourself become a pro and go crush the tables. We help recreational and intermediate players take the next step and become better players who can beat the games that they're playing. And we do it through a lot of interactive training sessions. So there's an average between the home games, the book studies, the study groups, the strategy discussions. There's an average of more than 2 events every single day that you can take part of here at Rec Poker. Your free membership, if you go to rec.poker, you can sign up for free. All it takes is an email address and a smile, although both are mandatory. But if you drop that $15 a month, $15 a month, come get what's that in American? What's that in Canadian dollars? That's like a couple of Tim Hortons 6 packs. You're going to be in great shape there.
Six
Come
packs.
join.
Wow.
Isn't
Definitely
that
worth
isn't that
it.
how you do it? That's a new evolution up here. Yeah, it's amazing what they're doing
Oh
with teams
no.
these days. It's fantastic. But yeah, come check us out. We appreciate the support of all our premium
Seven
members.
double doubles, Benjamin said.
Seven
Seven
double
double
doubles.
doubles.
That's the way to be thinking about it. Oh yeah, we've actually got a comment here from As9 Bovine, who won a free month at Rec Poker by taking part in the stream last week with Rob Gardner. I did get an email from Rob. Thank you for that reminder, As9 Bovine. It's just been a crazy week. I'm going to send those emails out tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you better as one of Rec Poker's newest premium members. So what can I say? I'm so pleased with the chat. We had some really kind comments here. So a lot of love for Veronica Brill in the chat here as well tonight, and well deservedly so. Veronica, thank you so much for coming and sharing this time with us.
Thanks for
This
having
was
me. This
so
was a
much
lot of
fun.
fun.
It
And
was, wasn't it?
your chat's so much nicer than the Nick Vertucci show chat and the Hustler
Yeah.
Casino chat. I just want to say you guys have the best chat in the world.
Oh,
Hustler
that's sweet.
Casino chat sucks. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you guys were
I mean,
great. I really appreciate it.
no, so that's really
Sorry.
sweet. I do say like one of the things that makes us Rec Poker special is we kind of self-select it. It's a group of fantastic folks. We all want to encourage each other. We want to be positive about this game that we love. We help each other. Of course, we give each other the gears, especially Taylor, because he's such a jerk. But we do just have so much fun with each other, and we really support each other a lot. And look, poker is a fun game, but it's a tough game sometimes. And as much fun as it is, it's more fun when you win. So come on down and check us out, see what we're doing here, and get on board. We love the support, we love the encouragement, and we love the community. Um, Keith Brandt, way to go, man. You earned that. That was a battle all the way through all these matches. So impressed with what you brought to the table. I'm not surprised, but I'm impressed. And I hope folks get a chance to check out your monthly study group here, Monkey Systems, Off Table Tools every month. And I just want to shout, I can't shout out everyone in the chat because there's too many people there saying wonderfully positive things. But thank you all so much for your support and for your encouraging comments here. So much love for Veronica and me in the chat right now. Holy
JB Twin
cow.
Cities, thank you so much. Stewie13, thank you. It was really, really fun to do this. And yeah, shout out to our winner, Monkey System, Keith Brandt. And then, of course, Chris Jones. You did a great job. 5x5. I really enjoyed this. So next year, if you guys want a little bit of feminine energy, I'm here.
Oh, that's so sweet. Hey, listen, you're in trouble now because we are definitely going to take you up on that.
I
You
just need
heard it
some
here,
Timbits
folks.
and I'll be happy.
That's right. We'll get you that old Tim Hortons six pack
That's
that we
my
were
bill.
talking
That's
about
coming in the
earlier.
mail. I
Yeah,
want
I love it.
Timbits.
I love that. Send that to Canadian Jim. There's only one of me up here, so it's really easy to make it
Okay.
happen. Just put that in the
Okay.
post. And also, it's just one more time, an amazing thanks to Taylor Moss. You don't know Taylor as well as you know some of the other members of the Wrecking Crew because he's a family man. And when the podcast is coming out for the recording, he's got to go put those kids in bed. So we don't hear from him as often as some of the other members, but he's a crucial part of what we do here at Rec Poker. And he's one of the OGs. He's been here since the original Wrecking Crew came together. So I'm just so, I mean, I say this every week. I've got the best freaking job in the world. I'm just such a lucky guy to hang out with these amazing folks and talk poker every week. Thank you so much to our 16 contestants. Thank you to our twitch.tv chat group. Thank you to Taylor. Thank you to Veronica. Thank you to the listeners of the podcast. And I'm just so grateful to be able to be here and so pleased that I was able to drink all 3 tequila shots and 3 beers and still hold
We're
it
all
down,
happy
I
for
think,
that
pretty
too.
well, right? I thought I did a pretty good job, all things
Yeah,
considered.
you did great. You only messed up 5 times. That's fine.
Yeah, and the over under was like way above that. So that sounds like you
Yeah,
win.
yeah. I picked 20, but yeah, that's fine.
Veronica, before we go, are you going to be in Vegas for WSOP this year at all? Do you have any plans to
Of
travel?
course. Yeah, of course. I'm always there for the ladies event. I'm thinking I might play the main this year. Because I
Cool.
haven't done that before. I always do ladies and tag team and side events. But I might go to WPT at Thunder Valley tomorrow,
Yeah, nice.
or Saturday. And yeah, I might be going to Florida in April too for the WPT. So we'll see.
You gonna go educate some folks down there? Some of those Floridians.
Yeah,
You're gonna.
that's what it is. Yeah, or give away my money. I don't know. I'm still like really, I just got a new job, so I'm still like spending a lot of time trying to learn everything, and I don't have like a ton of free time at the moment.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be rooting for you. You were a great commentator tonight. I had a great time. Really appreciate your
I had a
support.
lovely time. Thank you. And thank you, Taylor. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. Tune in next year, all MaREC, I mean, March long. We'll be having this going on. And the first set of qualifying matches is going to be in June. So pay attention. That third Saturday in June, join the home game club and check it out. Yeah, Jim Gibson says, just don't give him any Long Island iced teas. Yeah, you know what's up, Jim. Maybe we'll have a little repeat of that come down Las Vegas this June. All right. Well, once again, thanks to everybody and have a fantastic week. And it's been such a pleasure. I'm so excited to be here. We'll talk again real soon, I hope. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thank you.